we are. Good evening. Hey, welcome back. How's it going? Tonight I wanted to try to pick back up on the leaf I was working on. Don't know if we'll necessarily get it finished tonight, especially with the curves and the crinkles and curls of this. It's taken me a little bit longer than I initially anticipated. Just trying to get everything nice and flat. So I'm gonna get this pushed over to the side real quick. And the 3 paints, just kind of as a recap. I've got burgundy, buttermilk, and yellow ochre. Now the yellow ochre, you can just barely see it. It blends in so well with the leaf. I know that it blends in, but I kind of like that in the end. I don't know, you can still see the color enough, but it blends in like it's just an empty space. I kind of like the effect. Initially, I was thinking about going back in and potentially top dotting anything that I've done in this color, you know, just to make sure that it stood out a little bit more. But now that I look at it and it's dry, I don't know that I'm going to do that. I think I like it the way it is. So, okay. All right, let me get my paints in here. There's that. Now, since I'm not actually working on glass or anything like that at the moment, I'm not actually adding any mediums to my paint tonight. So, and how I'm going to do, okay. Make sure I got all my stuff situated over here so I can get moving a little faster. Okay, all right. I didn't have an end design in mind. I've kind of just been winging it, which has been fine. What I want to do probably now, do I want to leave room? I think I maybe do. Okay. So my tools, the only ones I'm using are just these here. So I've got a couple of the ball tools, and I have just a couple of acrylic rods. Nothing special. I don't have any fancy tools. You know, honestly, that's probably still the set that I had when I first started the art. So they last rather nicely. So let's go here, I think, along this line. Not the one that these are touching, but the one above it. And now, what size? What size? What size? What size? You know what? I can probably, yeah, let's do the larger. All right. So last time I ended here and here. Bring this over. I have coffee sitting here, and it's really piping hot. I don't want to spill it on me. So get this adjusted a little bit, so I have some elbow room, so I'm not knocking it over. All right. Now then, so since I ended up with the yellow ochre and the buttermilk, I'm going to go into the dark burgundy. And I'm going to go ahead and start right over here. Let's go right smack in the middle. I said, this has been fun. Just trying to make sure that everything stays flat. I know that I work slow as it is, but it slows me down even more. It's really relaxing, but at the same time, I wonder, like, oh boy, is it really going to take me like 3 hours to get this little leaf done? But guess what? That's 3 hours of relaxation. That's 3 hours. I don't have to worry about anything else. And all of this is dry. So I'm not worrying about touching it. And now you can probably see the wet burgundy versus the dry color. Look at how much brighter that is at this point. I love the bright, but oh my gosh, the dark looks so nice. It's going to kind of have to be on there. Flipped around. I'm just going to try to keep these as close as possible. Yell at me if my hands get in the way. It's kind of been fun figuring out how to hold this down and not walk away with my hands cramped up as claws. So I can get this one right on the edge. Okay. That curl is actually a nice benefit when it comes to making these little partial or sort of quarter dots or whatever. Because I'm not having to worry about the paint underneath it or touching even the Lazy Susan that's under it, because the curl is just pulling the paint off right where it's supposed to. It's kind of nice. I'm going to skip that little edge for a second. Come over here. Right there. Okay. There. So there's that one. Hey, how's it going? Nice. Good to see you. I'm so glad you finally made it. I know my streams are usually kind of late, depending on where you are, that is. So glad I finally got ya. All right, I gotta move my screen around just a little bit. Okay. Cool. Now we're good. All right. So I hadn't yet had a plan. So here we are on the fly. So I've got these ones. I do want to go probably to something real small and fill in the nooks here. That is going to be with this little buttermilk. I want to keep calling it butterscotch. It's definitely not butterscotch. Buttermilk. Okay. You know what? 1 second here. sorry, I got all distracted. I got super excited because the group finally allowed us to set up a chat. So we now have a live chat running as well for the beginners of Mandala art. So like I said, I got all distracted and excited. Okay. Ooh, cold. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know what? It's fall. It's cold season. Yep. I kind of tend to forget that. I'm homeschooling my daughter now, and she's not in public all that much, and so she doesn't come home every 2 days with a snotty nose, you know, so it's really easy to forget that it's cold and flu season. So all right, so these ones are going to be tiny. I don't even know if anyone can see them. Let's get these right in the crook. Hey, oh, wow, fantastic. That's where I am too. Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, did you? Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Now I tell you, this is the second part. In the first part, I did go through and explain how to get these prepped, but I'll go over it again just in case. You may or may not already have heard this, or at least this is what I do. But last year, I was really excited to do this as well. And I went to the park and I collected, God only knows how many leaves. And I was so excited because I actually picked up acorns and I had berries off of the trees and everything. I had such a wide array of stuff. There was even this big bush in the park that had these really beautiful long red leaves. Let me tell you, it was like a candy store, and my daughter's like, oh my God, can we get out of here? I just want to go play. And I brought them all home and I got distracted like usual. And they all dried up and crumbled on me. Couldn't do a dang thing with them. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? What are these people preserving them with? Okay, so what I did, let me grab this. Oh, hey, sweet. Hello from Canada. Oh my goodness, yeah, Pueblo. I spent many a summer there, so it's really, 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 really beautiful. All right, one second. I've got stuff put away. So what I did when I took my leaves, I went ahead and, you know, the old way that you did when you were a kid, go pick up leaves, put them between paper and a book, right? And just let them kind of dry out for a minute. A lot of the leaves that I picked, like especially this one, I actually pulled straight from the tree before they had hit the ground, just so they were a little bit fresher, a little bit flatter. Press them in a book. And then once they've dried out, just maybe for a day or two, I went out, let me see if I can go this over here. So this is what I used, the triple thick, the glaze. I didn't necessarily like the glaze for a lot of other stuff because even though it is crystal clear, it does sort of have almost a matte finish. So, but on these, it's perfect. It kind of leaves, they're smooth still, but if you really rub it, you get a tiny little bit of texture, which I really liked. So once they were nice and flat, I just went outside and sprayed the lightest spray that you can possibly do on one side of the leaf, laid it down, and then sprayed the other. I mean, it was such a light coating that the spray dried in like 2 minutes to the touch. So, and then once both sides were dry, that's where I am here. And I'm painting it from here. Okay. All right, just try to get this one on my crooks here. And then what I'm going to do once I get these dotted in here, then I'm going to bring up my swooshes. I don't know if I want to do that with dots or another layer of swooshes, but let's see. gonna wipe my tool off here. Oh, beautiful. Yep, that is absolutely perfect. Yeah, I have a stack sitting next to me here too with some that I had, some that are just dry, some that are pressed and dried, and some of them that I've already sprayed and are waiting to be painted, so. Yeah, and I think I got these leaves maybe 3 weeks ago now, honestly. So, and they look just great. This one might look a little funky because of the lines that I've drawn on it, but the lines are just drawn with an expo marker, just with a little dry erase marker. So once this is all dry and done, I'll just go back in with like a super soft cloth, like an eyeglass cloth, and just gently wipe those off, any of the lines that maybe you might still be able to see. So. Okay. I might top dot these two, I don't know. I feel like it looks nice right now, but as usual, it feels just a tiny bit flat. Oh, did I really do that? I did. It's okay. We'll fix it. I don't even know when I did that. Just stuck my pinky into this dot over here. Now it looks like my finger's bleeding. It's beautiful crimson color. Fix that. Should still be dry enough to wipe right off. Okay. Wipe my hand off first so I don't spread it anywhere else. Absolutely. Yeah, if you do it, certainly come show us. That'd be totally fun. Oh my, those red maple trees. Oh my gosh. Yep. I kept telling my husband, I have a neighbor across the street from us. I don't know what kind of tree it is, to be honest, but they are the most beautifully manicured trees. They are like picturesque, beautiful, like round at the top. And when they start to turn in the fall, at the bottom of the tree starts this glorious yellow and orange and then red on the top. So by the time it's in full bloom, it looks like a flame with the yellow in the center and then all these really bright red on the top. And the neighbors there just moved in. They're a brand new couple that just moved in. And I kept telling my husband, I'm going to go knock on their door and ask them for leaves, and they're going to think that I'm the crazy lady across the street. That's how I'm going to introduce myself to my neighbors. Hi, can I come have leaves off your lawn? Yeah. What are you going to do with them? Sure, I'm going to paint on them, and they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. Let's try this again. You just want to stick right up, don't you? There. Okay. You know, right now I don't have any plans for them. What I was thinking of doing, I have a couple of old, like those kind of dollar store picture frames. And I was thinking of just shoving them in there, putting them behind glass so that they're flat. But I haven't decided yet. I don't even know. If somebody has any better ideas than that is actually what to use them for. I'm all ears. I'd love to know what to do with them. Well, thank you. You wouldn't know it, but I don't have a single creative bone in my body. I'm like the least creative person I know. So this has been a test for me every time I create a new project. And that's one of the reasons why I don't plan stuff, because I find that because of my lack of creativity, I'm sitting there with a plan and it never turns out the way it's supposed to. And then I end up even more frustrated. So I just don't. You know what? Top dotting, as long as you let something dry really well, just go for it. Because honestly, once the bottom layer is dry, I mean, give it a day. I mean, honestly, the paint is probably dry in an hour. Sorry, coffee. Even though it's probably dry in an hour, give it a day and then just start doing it. Because if you screw it up immediately after because of the bottom layer, no matter what your undercoat is, it's nice and smooth now. And so really all you need is just, you know, just something like a Q-tip and just wipe it right off. So you can't really screw it up. Really, really. Promise. Okay. Okay, so tell me, do we want to do swooshes to fill in this space? Or do we want to just connect them up with some additional dots and maybe leave these spaces here kind of in between the grids empty? Or maybe have small swooshes, something. Let's see. We put something there. What scares me about top dotting? That I ruin the color pattern. That I pick a color for the top dots that isn't either complementary, and I pick a color that's maybe too close to the original or completely the wrong, and I screw up my color palette. That is honestly, that's my biggest fear. That's what I worry about when I do it. Hey, yeah. Yeah, let me show you that again real quick. When I do the leaves, and you know what, I've got another one over here. Let me grab this. This one's right on top. So this is another type of leaf that I got. So when you get your leaves, go ahead and press them in a book. A couple days, you know, like I said, like you would do normally, like when you were a kid. Press them in a book. Once they are completely flat and dry, then I take and spray varnish them. The spray varnish that I have, just the one that I happen to use, was this one. Just anything will do. Any spray varnish, crystal clear, super, super light, and then let that dry and then go for it. And then the lines, the grid on here is just an expo marker. I just grabbed the really, really fine tipped ones. So, and then even if this sets for a couple of days like this one has, if you wipe over it, you know, just like I did with this, to do a little bit of correction, it doesn't come off, but a little bit of pressure, a little bit of water, and it wipes right off. So, no biggie. So, okay. Need to get some more ochre in here, but I feel like we're gonna have to add a third color soon enough. So what if I do is white? Is there gonna be too much white? Because I don't think I want more ochre right here, in between these two small swooshes. Don't think I want to do that. I think that, especially when you look at it from a distance, I think it'll blend too much. And with this row really heavy in the burgundy, yeah, okay, okay. Okay, let's see what this is gonna look like. See if I can't get this. Load that up real heavy. It's probably the only time that I don't immediately wipe off my tool. So I'm gonna do my sushis. And go right up here. I know it's like sideways, and I'm debating. Oh, oh, Darlene, oh my gosh. You know what? Yes, 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 yes. I actually have that as part of one of my little Tuesday tips because somebody suggested that when I first started out. I had seen it suggested. I'm like, oh my God, that is the best idea ever. Absolutely, yes. Saran wrap, or you know what? Somebody even said, take glass, like those dollar store frames, you know, the picture frames or whatever, whatever, and just lay it over the top once it's dry, and then play around. Ooh, this is a little bumpy. It's like a vein right there or something. Catch that. Okay. So I know it's not okay. All right. I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna look at this again because I feel like I'm upside down in Alice in Wonderland here. Okay. All right, stay down. Tell me if those swooshes don't look crooked. They're right on the line. I'm not crazy, but they look awfully crooked. Maybe it's just this one. Maybe somehow this one got off. Let me get rid of that one. Okay. Let's twist. Okay. Don't be stingy with Q-tips. Okay. Gosh, those little ridges where the veins of the leaf, they're tripping me up here. This might be dry enough. Yeah, okay. All right, I think we're okay. Never existed. Throw that away. These live I do every Monday night. Today is just a kind of a random because of Halloween. I didn't get to do it for Halloween. Typically it is Monday night. I mean, if Monday night is not the most convenient for people and I end up, you know, hearing that a different day is better, then I can definitely kind of change that up. But Monday nights. My only exceptions are, you know, it's like going to be Christmas and Thanksgiving, stuff like that. I'm going to try this again. Like I said, and maybe I'm just delusional here. Just seeing something, but let's bring this straight up. Oh, I can't hold my fingers that apart. And I need one more over here. Now, initially I was thinking I do have a couple colors to top dot these with. I love my gold. I have this beautiful champagne gold that I feel like I've been adding to everything lately. I'm gonna make you dizzy for a second. I don't know if that's gonna work. If it's just gonna be a little too light or not. I might play around with that. We'll see. I'm really glad I put the grid lines on here. I initially did it because, especially with the way that these leaves are here, I wanted to make sure that I was following my pattern all the way around. But especially like with the swooshes that I'm doing right now, oh my God. There is no way that I would have gotten them straight because I feel like even though they're exactly on the lines, I feel like they're crooked. So I would have had an absolute mess on my hands. It would have looked like Picasso. Same. My pseudo edge here. All right, and did I miss any? Nope, this one is too close to the edge. All right, what do we think? Something here. Maybe I do need some ochre brought up. Let's see. Let's do, this is my 2.1. That's probably big enough. and I'll just leave a space. Can't do anything there, or there. Okay. All right. Making sure that I hit all the marks. Okay, so we'll leave those empty. Now then. Okay. Just giving that another extra second to kind of dry. For the top, I'm thinking of doing another walk dot row. And we can probably do it the same way with the ochre there. Let's see, did I have a large one here? I think I did. You know what, let's go the smaller one though, since we're getting near the tip. All right. These edges are getting funner and funner. Oh goodness. Okay. Let that curl a little. Yeah, I would have had one there, okay. And now, let's get our top dot worked. All right, and for the walk dots, oh my goodness, exactly. Exactly. Initially, I thought about doing a design that just sort of wrapped around the leaf, you know, something a little bit more abstract. Like I did a series of 3 jars that were essentially just swooshes, all swooshes and dots. And I loved it, and it was very pretty, and it was really relaxing, and I didn't have to worry about symmetry at all. I just kind of let it go. And I was thinking about doing something like that with this. And I have a couple more leaves, and I think I might experiment with doing that. But in the end, looking at some other examples too, I really like the way that it ends up looking like it's really stamped right out of the middle of a mandala. You know, that it just got plucked right up out of the middle. So I'm gonna flip my tool over from the 1.5 down to the R1, not 0.5. Well, let's see if I can kind of. I find that especially with the small dots, it's even more important to wipe the tools off after every single, what would you say, path or dot, because the very slight changes that you get when you dot and then still have paint on the tip and go back in again is really, really, really evident when you have much smaller ones. Oh, thank you. Pretend that that sort of came around. All the itty bitty tiny details. A little closer to that. Most nights I end up feeling so terrible because I put so much paint down the sink or in the trash. All this leftover because we use so little. That's gonna have to be a little funkified. The vein goes right there. It does not like my paint dot on it. Stuck. Okay. Okay, let's put that tool down. Let's go a bit larger. 2.5. Go up quite a bit. Yeah. You know what my quote unquote secret is? And it does work, but it's really only a temporary. A Ziploc bag. So I have, this little palette is, it's pretty tiny. And what I do is I get, I doesn't even have room for the top. I get a quart size Ziploc bag, like the freezer ones. And this paint palette, just ironically enough, fits perfectly inside of a quart Ziploc. So if I know that I'm going to be coming back to something within the next 2 days, sometimes I've squeezed it to maybe 3. But literally I just take the whole dang palette and scoop it up into a bag. The other thing too is it's not really necessarily a trick to that extent, but sometimes what I'll do, especially if I'm practicing or if I'm kind of just playing around, instead of having my Q-tips over here, I'll also fill one of my little palette wells with water, just a couple of drops of water. And when I do my corrections, I'll just, I just dip the Q-tip in the water from the paint palette. But if you do that, like one or two drops of paint in the well and then put it inside the baggie, works like a charm. I've come back 2 days later, and in some cases 3, and it's just like this. I stir it just a little bit. It hasn't created like a film or anything. Yeah. The paint containers I like, especially if I'm going to be mixing color, but yeah, I never went out of my way to buy any. Staking. And now that the edges are curling up, I think it's just because of the weight of the paint that has started to curl it. I think I might, after all of this is done, I might go back through and put it in a book again. Yep. Yeah, I'm a little bit of, I don't know necessarily that it's going to fix it or help it in the end. Because like I said, when these came out, I mean, you can see these ones, they're super flat. They're not curled at all. This one looked exactly like that when I started. And I know, I mean, these have been out the same length of time. And, so I know it has to be the paint. Even though we do have the very, very light spray varnish on it, I think it's just some of the moisture from the paint seeping in, or just the weight itself of the paint that's just causing the curling. So I don't know. It's down just a little, so can move that. Little half dot right there. Okay. And I've got enough room up here. Let's see. Thinking about doing something a little dramatic. Let's try to stay in the pattern here. Let's go larger. Let's try to fill up some of the space. Instead of just going up constantly gradually. That one doesn't have any room over here. This one does. Yeah, that's true, right? Sort of interesting. For a second here. Lost my light, stuck over there. Okay, let's bring this one over. I just wonder if it's simply the water, just the moisture and the paint on the top. Like I said, even though there is a layer of varnish on it, I mean, it's not waterproof, right? I mean, it is really thin. My assumption is that, I guess more than anything, that it probably did just the moisture of the paint seeping in. So. All right. Now again, I've got some room there. I can do some more swooshies. This is full of white down here, but I didn't get a whole lot up there, so get some to fill it in. Some small one up. Okay. It's kind of going to be right here-ish. Oops, wrong side. Sometimes you kind of gotta fake it. Just pretend you sort of know where that's gonna go. And I think I'm going to put a dot down here because that isn't quite consistent all the way around. So I'll put a dot there instead of bringing the swoosh all the way down. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to let's see, let me wipe this off. I'm gonna fake it here. Should end right about here. There. And then this one over here as well. Should probably have something here-ish. I don't know that this is even going to be big enough to make it worth it, but let's pretend that something is right there. Okay. Little itty bitty tiny details. And what have I got for a size here? It's gonna be an exclamation mark. Oh, it's gonna scream at me now. Okay, yep. We've only got a little bit left. Oh, I'm running out of ideas, darn it. Maybe at this point, it's probably just best if I run another ring like this, maybe smaller, and just gradually roll that off the edge. Because otherwise, it's gonna get kind of tricky. Let's see. Let's go back to my little one. I seem to be using just a couple of sizes, so. Ugh. Don't stick to me, please. I do think, though, the more that I work with this burgundy color, because it's my absolute favorite, that the gold is looking like more of a great idea at the top, at least of the burgundy color. I'm gonna hold this down for crying out loud. I tell you, if I ever do these again, I'm gonna have to figure out something. I wonder if I could weigh it down in the edges or something as I work. Some kind of paperweight or something. Just get the edge there. I'm gonna have to find out what I want to do with those two. I'm gonna have to carry that around somehow. All right, those are done. Yeah, I decided I really like those colors too. Thank you. So let's go down. And now we're in the weight. I do a little bit larger though. Ooh, that's a good idea. Especially with these smaller ones, that's a good idea. I'm gonna have to try that. Two-sided tape, why didn't I think of that? I do have some nice thick two-sided tape too. As long as I don't get my hands in it, you know, in the little crevices, I suppose. Since it's all, you know, since it's all sealed all the way around. Shouldn't hurt it at all. Okay, and I've got one last row. These in nice right in the middle. Yeah, absolutely. Right on that edge. I need to do more of a kind of a fold out here. And the very last thing is I need to figure out something for here and here. What would this actually be? I could just kind of pretend for the sake that. Oh, come on, stick. Okay. But that would have been where we would have had the center of our walked dots. Okay. All right, because there's not a whole lot we're going to be able to do in that itty bitty tiny little space there, so. And then should I leave the tip? Or try to fill this in with something? This is like the only part that isn't painted now, is this very itty bitty tiny tip. I feel like we probably need to fill it in with something, I don't know. Since it doesn't have anything else corresponding anywhere, I'm kind of debating. I could go back to the larger and maybe I could do just like a couple of white dots up there. Yeah, I agree. Let me see, maybe if I can do something kind of big, because we have this large and then these and then this kind of section. I don't want to get too carried away and make it really small. Can't really do any swooshes there. So what if? Let's see. I can put my finger here. Pushing it on this one here. Let's see. Okay. Go back here. And then I think 2 red dots at the top should close it up. Make that one a little larger. Last little one had to be a mess, huh? Okay. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. I'm going to bring this down, hopefully, so that you can see that a little better. Let's see here. There. I think once it's got its top dots on, it'll really sparkle. I want to have my other stuff sitting here. You know what, actually? My wine glasses that I had finished. And it's that same burgundy. And look at that gold on top of it. I mean, I think that color just, I think that would work. I hope. There. Yeah. What I think I'll probably do at this point it's probably been about an hour, 8, yeah, a little bit over. What I think I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to let it dry. Like I said, I might even stick it back in a book. And then, look at all this. I think instead of doing a live stream on all of these, I think I'm going to go ahead and record some. You know, do some of the typical videos, sped up, whatever. Look at this. I have all of these leaves that I wanted to paint, and I've got them all sprayed. So we can add some color to it. I really like that one. This big, huge. I love this. Oops, one of my leaves broke off. Darn. Let me put that back together. But I thought this one was perfect. This is huge. This one leaf is magnificent. And then green. I pulled some of these off my tree in the back, and they've already been sitting there. I just pulled them green off of the tree, and these ones have already been sitting there for a week now. And so they're nice and dry, and they just never turned that kind of crunchy yellow. So I'm excited I wanted to try some sort of a green palette on those two. And then I don't know what I'll do with these. I'll get them sealed up and do something with them. Maybe I might do a giveaway or something. I don't know if I could actually mail them without them getting broken. That would be my biggest fear. But I certainly could. I could certainly, even in my group or here on the channel, and maybe try to do a giveaway, something like that. That might be fun. So, all right. Okay, so I'm going to put all this aside. And we'll get it wrapped up. And we'll pick this up. We'll pick it up next week. Yeah, I'm so used to doing this on Monday. Next week really isn't that far away. I mean, it's already Wednesday. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I certainly appreciate it. I actually got to chit chat with some people tonight. That was really, really fun. You know what? I don't remember. I don't remember, Darlene, but like I said at the very beginning of the stream, I do host a group over on Facebook, and the group now has a live chat. I was really excited about that one, so if you're interested, that might be really fun, so that we can kind of check out everybody, say hi, share some stuff, and be back on Monday. All right. So, well, we will, yeah, have a fantastic evening, and we'll catch you again next week. Good night.